Here's how low I rank. I was having lunch with a dear friend, a meteorologist, on Friday. Remember I had said we're having lunch with a trusted colleague?
Yes, and if memory serves, there was the threat of severe weather in the area, and you weren't certain earlier in the week whether or not he would be on call.
Correct.
Putting your lunch in jeopardy.
But he was not on call. He was off on Friday altogether, so we did have lunch. And apparently now I'm told by Dave that during our lunch, I was boring him so badly, he texted Dave and said, "Can we go have drinks?
I need a drink.
I need something."
Oh, my God.
This is going nowhere.
He won't stop talking about being med.
I kept
What does
talking.
that even mean?
I kept saying that.
He's got almonds in a bag in his pocket.
I said I'm med.
He's
What am I
eating them
supposed
like
to-
a monkey.
What am I supposed to do?
Like when you feed the camels at the
Yeah,
zoo.
yeah, yeah.
I'm that low. I'm that low. During the lunch, he was looking at me and texting Dave saying, "Get me out of this. Can you call me?"
I'm guessing it was during your lunch because I got the text. What time was your lunch?
Oh, 11:30 to 1.
Oh, yeah. He sent it like 1:45. Y'all must have been getting the bill, and he was texting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Me
He was.
out of
He didn't want to
here.
go home.
Can you get me
I know
out
what he
of
wanted.
This? Can you get me out of this? Is there any way possible? For
The warden gave him a pass.
Boy, the actor almost didn't start when I was leaving that fancy restaurant, too. I was a little concerned.
What's the problem?
Don't know.
Does sir need a tow truck? No. Let me just.
That was the day you were
shimmy it a
dressed
little.
I was a little concerned about it.
semi-homeless, semi-Goodwill
Yeah.
shopping spree.
Didn't
You had on a tennis dress, some blue jeans with no belt.
I dispute the tennis dress part, but yes, the rest of it is accurate. And when I walked into the restaurant, they say, "Bar only." And I said, "Can I at least have a table in the bar?" "No, stool. You have to go to the stools."
We don't hire felons. What? No, it's company policy. No, I'm here for lunch. Yeah.
Bar makes you uncomfortable in the first place.
I don't like the bar.
You don't.
And I walked in, there was a booth open. I said, "Can I have this?" "No, you have to go to the stool." So we sat up on the stools next to each other.
That's where I sat with him
Yeah,
later in the day.
He didn't even leave the seat.
He spent all day at the bar.
Apparently,
Yeah.
he just sat right there and stayed with. Chris Demm just referenced this. I read emails for the first time in 6 months over the weekend. I skipped the football season. I skipped the football season when it came to emails, and Chris Demm had sent me one in October, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is huge. This is really a big deal." It's about an artist I don't know named Shakira, but I've heard of her.
Well, she was at the Super Bowl with J-Lo.
2 years ago.
Yeah, she's been around forever. That Hips
Yes.
Don't Lie
Hips
was a
Don't
big
Lie.
hit.
So I see it. Now, she was at the Super Bowl. Yeah, Super Bowl 2 years ago when, golly, I don't remember who played in that one. But anyhow, Chris Demm had sent something about her. She and her lover are breaking up. And this was what's so fascinating to me. She has a song called Te Felicito.
Huh?
Te Felicito.
Just,
Which,
translation, please.
I hate you, is the Te Felicito.
Felicito que bien actúas. Eso no me cabe.
That's in Spanish.
Nunca voy a continuar.
But apparently it's a real slap at her longtime lover.
Felicito que bien actúas.
He's a soccer player.
Eso no me cabe duda.
And this is like a get back at you song. But what was fascinating in this article that Chris Demm sent me 5 months ago is the way she caught him cheating on her. She came home and found that some jam that only she likes had been eaten, quite a bit of it. Apparently, she loves this jam that was in their refrigerator. He didn't like it, and neither did the kids. But when she came home, somebody had been dragging their knife all through it, and she confronted him and said, "Who's had this jam?"
Oh man, that post-sex PB&J. It's always something like that.
Got
how
him.
You get caught.
She
Yeah.
got him. I was like, what?
Can I eat some of this, John? Eat whatever you want, baby.
You're so good to me.
Wait, not that. Oh, no, not that jam. Oh, God.
He had forgotten nobody in the house eats it but Shakira.
I turned off the security cameras. No one will know you're here.
He thought of everything except the jam.
Phone in airplane mode.
An apricot jam brought him down after 11 years and 2 children together.
Ooh, that's good jam.
That is I like an apricot jam.
I do too.
Kids didn't like it. The lover
Don't like
didn't
apricots?
No, they didn't like it. And so when she said somebody's been rubbing their their bread through this jam, his eyes got really big. He was caught off guard, and he could not defend it.
Is that all she's got?
How she knew. Well, later he confessed because he said the jam was what tipped it off.
I thought she'd eat an Uncrustable. I told her to eat one of the Keys Uncrustables. She makes a vegan sandwich, and now I divorce her.
Believe that? I was like, God,
That's a good one.
if I'd seen that in October, I would have been all over.
I know.
that. I mean,
It loses some of
terrible.
its punch because
I agree.
since then, and Biggie has confirmed this. What's her name? Shakira has released like 8 songs, all about how she hates this guy.
Exactly.
Te felicito que bien actúas.
This was the first right after the jam incident.
Got her creativity going. It's very Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I got the juices going. Yeah.
I can't remember all. I mean, but it's been way beyond that. Like she's gone after, I think, like trying to get him off the soccer team. I mean, she's going, she's full at like angry ex on him.
Is she from Colombia?
Yes,
Yes.
she's from South America. Don't cross a Latin lover.
Oh, God.
They'll keep going on you.
She gave up the jam, too. She can't eat it anymore without thinking of it.
Oh, of course not.
Now it tastes like poison.
Yep, because his lover's lips have been all in that.
Been all in it. I wonder if that's admissible in court.
I love an apricot jam.
I
I'm
do
with-
too.
I'm
I like
you
it with
on
peanut butter.
that. Oh, I do too. I think that's a little known, a less known
Yes.
jam. It's not a strawberry or
Yeah,
grape.
that
obviously.
and apple's good too.
And it's kind of yellowy orange.
It is.
that's right.
And I'll tell you, Kelly can't eat it, but if you ever want to make a pork roast or a pork loin,
Yeah.
you mix some of that apricot jam.
Yeah.
Just put a little red pepper in it. Warm it over the oven.
Oh, yes.
Dip your pork in it.
Look at you.
Look at you, you've done it again.
You've
You've
done-
reinvented the pork roast.
By golly,
Biggie, put that in our cookbook.
every time I think you've said enough on food, you come up with something new,
That's
Dave.
spectacular.
Not since that paper towel in the salad drawer have I been that interested in something.
Dave, where were
else.
you the night of the apricot incident? I was using it for a pork loin. He's in the crock pot. He's really
There's something she needs to know about her husband.
If only he had known.
He's not who she thinks she is.
Boy, if he had known, he could have made a slow roasted pork loin, just throw it in the crock pot, and say, "What are you talking about? I knew you liked it. I brought it."
I know
for you."
just enough Spanish.
No, apparently not. Okay, from Chris Demm, November 3rd. Got this. Okay.
What?
Yep, November 3rd. He sent me this great little piece on John Laroquette. They were getting ready to re-kick off Night Court.
Well, this is,
I don't know if you heard they're going to bring it back
Yeah,
on
Night
NBC.
Court. It's a hit.
primetime.
that's an NBC Peacock hit.
Night Court is a Peacock hit. He was being interviewed. This is for you too, Biggie, for your October movies. Did you do? I know you've done Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The original, yeah.
He was and I guess I knew this, but had pretty much forgotten. He does voiceover in that. John Laroquette does the voiceover for Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Doesn't appear on camera.
Nope. And has, side note, has never seen it. Not a horror movie fan. What was the movie? I got a lot of emails about this. I think it's called The Outwaters that we've recommended for Biggie to watch this October because more people are vomiting in theaters now. There's a movie called The Outwaters, and people are watching it, and something about the sound is so unsettling and unnerving. They have to excuse themselves to the toilet to vomit.
Yeah, that is my most common reply right now. What is the movie you were talking about that's making people sick in the theaters?
That's
The
it.
Outwaters.
And unlike Terrifier 2, which Biggie said is just gross to be gross, this one has a real plot to it and apparently is really an unnerving movie, but it's the sound that makes people uneasy, vomit, dizzy, that kind of thing, and they're having to leave the theater. Anyway, on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he did the voiceover for it in 1969, and the director said...
It's that old?
It's that old, yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Yeah, he said
Gosh, I thought it was a 70s movie.
working as a bartender in 1969 when the director of the movie, Toby Hooper, came to him and said, "Could you do voiceover for a movie I'm getting ready to do?" Movie came out in the early 70s.
Okay.
And he did the voiceover, and Toby Hooper, who was making the movie, they made it for $100,000. He said, "I don't have anything to pay you. I'll give you a bag of weed." And Laroquette said, "Sold." And he took it. And
Sign here.
All right. He said, the
Done.
movie made $30 million on a $100,000 budget, and Laroquette said, "All I got out of it was a bag of weed." But he did a voiceover in the 90s for another one and got paid for it.
Is his name in the credits? I don't remember even seeing
I don't recall
the first
see it at all.
It's been so
I've only
long
seen it
since-
once.
Me too. I thought it was not that good, but it's a cult classic, of course.
Yeah, because there was nothing else like it at the time.
That's
You know,
right.
it's hard to see it now in a post-Leatherface world.
Exactly.
You know.
So he said, do I regret it? No, I do not. And that's what he got for it, and that was that. And he said he would do it again. At that time, of course, he didn't have any money, and he thought the movie was going to be nothing.
Well, you did a movie and got a sheriff's uniform, didn't you, Kelly?
I did get a uniform out of that.
A uniform.
All bloodied. But still, it was nice. It was nice to get that.
It's in the closet if he needs it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Which he has.
A P1 named Heber sent this to me.
When?
September 18th. And he says, you guys are talking World Cup.
Wow. I forgot that was last year. That's right.
Oh, God.
World
The one in
Cup,
Qatar.
which was coming up.
It was coming up.
When did it happen? Like December, I think, is when they did
Yeah, it was
it.
at
late.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Around Christmas.
He goes, you guys are talking about the World Cup coming up in later in the year. That's when France and Argentina had that epic World Cup final.
Oh, yes.
We had played some soccer calls, to get everybody ready for the World Cup. And he said this is the best, bar none. Who's the guy? There is a guy who does a lot of soccer calls, and he gets so excited about it. This guy's name is Ray Hudson. And he says this was on television. It's documented. Our friend P1 Heber. Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo was getting a free kick, a penalty kick. And this was the call.
Ronaldo, whose free kicks have been a bit erratic this year.
Magical.
This one drops in.
Are you kidding me?
It's ecstasy.
Astonishing! This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions. And this one deludes everybody. It seduces everybody in Real Madrid's fan club, that's for sure. The wonder strike from Cristiano. This has got more curves to it than Jessica Rabbit on steroids.
I think that's that's Jizz Guy.
Yeah, that's him.
So.
That sure sounds like
so.
him.
What is that guy's name? I didn't think it was Ray.
couldn't tell you.
He says Ray Hudson, which I didn't. I thought it was a different name, but I think it's the
Sounds
same
like a weird
guy.
Irishman.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, I do too.
He equates everything to romance and sex.
He
With
does.
soccer.
He
That's
does.
what level it's on in his life.
There was a call we had from sounded like the same guy 10 years ago. He said it's going to be a lot of loving tonight.
That's right. When
Mama Duke.
Mama Duke made a kick. Yeah.
Pirlo was not as involved. He got involved late in the first half.
Yeah, and it was very noticeable. I mean, you could see it without even counting passes. You could notice that he just didn't have that. He didn't have that little bit of jizz in him today.
A little bit of what?
Jizz.
Oh.
Sounds like
Different
the same.
tone, but it's similar accent for
to
sure.
the same guy. It sounds like. That's our soccer update, but of course, it's 4 months too late.
There's no update about it.
Or 3 years too early.
The next World Cup, which we'll be hosting here in the U.S. and in Canada. So I apologize to Heber, who sent that in September. I just got to the emails this weekend. Is that horrible or what? I mean, really, I owe Chris Demm all these apologies. One more piece of sports dirt. Dave brought us this term. I've heard it for years now. Houston rules at golf.
Oh, yeah.
When you don't hit it past the ladies' tees,
That's right.
you have to take out your dangle.
And play it that hole with it.
Correct.
Out.
I tell you, there's a couple that's making news today. It's entertainment news and sports dirt at the same time. Michael Douglas said in an interview, Catherine Zeta-Jones makes him do that for real if he doesn't hit it past the ladies'
his
tee.
age?
At his age, Douglas is 78, 25 years her
He's not
senior.
hitting from the seniors?
Yeah.
He's not. He's still playing the back tees.
From the tips.
And
Damn.
Dude. Take the yardage.
well,
Please.
Yeah.
You deserved it. If you've gotten anything out of your life, play the seniors.
nope, he's refusing.
Play the Reds.
He says his wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, is a better golfer than him, and there's 2 times on the golf course he has to whip it out, which is 1, if he doesn't get past the ladies' tees, and he still plays the tips, he's happy to say, at age 78. And 2, if she beats him on the 18th hole, he's got to walk to the car with it.
Now that's in front of the country
Jesus.
club
Right,
and all.
right from the 18th grade in the car. Has to.
The Beverly Hills Club would like to remind Mr. Douglas that although this is funny, other members are still watching.
They play Houston rules, and she was recently on the Graham Norton show in England, and he said, is it true? And she goes, oh, yeah, we are very, very competitive when it comes to golf. And I have told him, play the senior tees. He won't. He refuses to. So if he doesn't get it past the ladies' tee, which happens about once every other time they play, he's got to walk the entire hole with it hanging out.
Did she ever think that maybe that's what he wants?
Maybe that's what he wants to
He's
do.
hitting it short.
Are there anything like that in pickleball, Kelly, your new beloved sport?
No, we don't have
Like
one
if
of
you
those.
double fault or step in the kitchen.
We don't have one of the. I played so bad on Saturday. I had to apologize. Later, I called the Diesel to apologize. My partner. I don't know what it was. I just didn't have my legs. Early on we were.
Well, you're full of nothing but
You're weak.
That's it.
oranges and
You've
almonds.
got no energy.
And I was eating almonds that day, and that's all I was eating. And we were warming up, and I thought to myself, oh, my God, my legs are like jelly. I cannot. It's like that jelly in Shakira's fridge.
Yeah,
and I thought,
tainted.
I can't. Tainted jelly.
There's no nutrition in you.
We lost, 8 out of 10. And later I called him, and I said, I want to apologize to you. I am so sorry.
I'm really worried about you.
I know. I'm
worried if you don't finish first in this thing, you're going to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know
Right
what's going to
there in the
happen
gym.
after this. I've thought about
The
that.
two of you
too.
could have adjoining rooms at the hospital by the end of the year.